you better be ready for it.
So I grew up in Abbeywood, and from there, actually no, I started living in Thamesmead. I came here in 2005, and I've been for a lot since then. And I lived in Thamesmead. From Thamesmead, I moved to Abbeywood. From Abbeywood, I moved all the way to Plumstead. From Plumstead, I moved to Woolwich, then back to Charlton, then from Charlton back to Woolwich again. And I've been there pretty much all my life, really. And only recently I just decided to move out of London and move to Kent and start fresh, really, truly, because that London life is good. I can't lie, it's fantastic. But yeah, I just wanted a new change, new beginnings, new start, and Kent was the decision for me. That's where I'm at right now.
So how did you discover boxing?
Well, that stems from when I started in school, actually. I discovered boxing in school when I was in year 9, was when I started. Pretty much boxing. I actually like to fight. I love fighting. That's just my thing. It started off as in, I used to get bullied a lot when I was in school, and the bullying was kind of, what should I say? You know, people just like try to annoy you. You know, drop your bag when you walk in, pull your glasses off, they push you when you walk in, all of that stuff just grew. And you know, for me, I took it for a while, and just got to the point where I was just, I can't do this anymore. And I decided one day somebody just took it too far, and I was like, yeah, from this day I'm just gonna, anyone that looks at me wrong, talks dirty to me, I don't know, cost me, cost my brother, cost my family, my friends, just getting smoked. That's just, yeah. Even that included teachers. I'm not proud to say it, trust me, I'm not. But you know when you get that anger to the point where you're just like, I don't care anymore. That was where I was. That's where I reached. And yeah, I started fighting anybody that looked at me wrong, spoke rude of me, my friends, family, everybody knew. And you know, that gave me a reputation in school. The boy where you don't want to mess with him. You know, there's no point of bullying him anymore, because it's just gonna, it's gonna give you something back in return. And he gave me a name in school, the Four Eyes Bully is what they call me, because I've been wearing glasses all my life, really. And my boys started calling me Titanium, especially Alex. Alex was the first one, aka French. He's the first one to ever name me that, and I kind of liked it. You know, it rhymed with my name. And I had another friend, his name's called Simeon. He was like to me one day, T, you need to stop all this, you know, fighting stuff. I know you like to fight, so I'm going to help you out. I'm going to take you to a gym. My dad's a personal trainer. He can help you out with your fighting stuff. You know, teach you what you want to learn if you want to fight so badly. And yeah, he took me to a gym called Nemesis in Earth. I don't think they're there anymore. But that was where I started. That's where all this journey started. What's the future looking like for Titanium Fitness? The future is bright, in my opinion, but you can never be too confident with that answer, because a lot changed. And I've got a long-term contract with Goodwin Boxing, because that's what I just signed with. And I also believe that your future depends on your performance in the fights that you have. You know, you can give yourself, you know, goals, long-term goals, short-term goals. I've given myself some goals, but you have to accomplish these goals to go for the long run. And in my opinion, the future looks good, it looks successful. But like I said, that also depends on my performance. My performance, well, that's when you guys have to come and watch. That's where you have to, you know, get your tickets, come and look at the performance, and you can tell me yourself. Okay, I'll say boxing has helped me out in terms of focus and, you know, just being dedicated to something. outside of the sport. Boxing has definitely helped me on that. But with the sport, what's been my greatest challenge is always, me personally, it's always about making weight, number one. Because I love food, trust me. I'm having hot chocolate right now, hold on. Food. I love food to the man. If you know that watching, if you know me, you know food is my number one favourite thing to do. Number two is finding sparring partners, because obviously the way that you fight at is also important, because there's not a lot of people around you that fights your weight class. You've always got to go one above or two above your weight class, or maybe just 1 kilo below your weight class, just to find the perfect match, to balance it out a little bit as well. Another thing is, I won't say strength and conditioning, because I've been a PT in my past life, so I kind of know a little bit of what I'm doing when it comes to strength and conditioning. But you also need a partner with you. You need somebody that's always there with you to push you, you know, when you feel low, because your coach is not always going to be there for you all the time. He's got his life he's got to live as well. You've got to prioritize days with your coach, and sometimes you've got to do things by yourself. You've got to do it by yourself. That's where self-belief comes in. That's where self-determination comes in. That's where the motivation comes in, because in this sport, most of the time you're by yourself, training by yourself. And that's what a lot of pro boxers and other boxers themselves don't tell you, is that as much as we love the sport, it's a grind, it's a solo grind. The works that you don't see on camera, that we struggle to do, you know, is we have to do it just because we love what we do, and we have to entertain as well at the same time. We've got to put on that brave face that I'm good, you know. But really and truly we are, but it's hard. It's really hard, and that is what I love the most. Is just you have to find somebody to give you that little push, you know, especially those who have a partner as well. You will understand what I'm saying. And I feel like in this sport, you always need a +1. That could be your best friend, your brother, your sister, your siblings. What's my most memorable fight? I'd say it's the London finals back in late 2019 or early. I can't really remember much, but I fought a guy called Tommy Hyde. Very tall guy, but for me, I think he was inexperienced, and that was my first ever making it to a final, and I gave my best at that fight, because I had 2 standing counts in the last round, and he wasn't even doing anything, but yet they still gave it to him, you know. And for me, that really set me off, because I know how hard I trained for that fight and how much I gave into it, and yet they still gave it to him. The guy didn't even do much. I had no standing counts. He wasn't even doing a lot of work compared to what I was doing. I've got the video on my phone, and I watch it every single now and then just to motivate me, because I know things like this happen in boxing. But for them to give it to someone that didn't do much, to me, that's cheating the system. And I believe he had favoritism. It was favourite to win that fight, and I gave it to him regardless. So for me, that put me on in a different perspective in terms of how much you have to believe in yourself, how much you have to go all out in every single fight, even sparring sometimes. I tend to not think about it too much, because I let the moment come and then I deal with it. I think about how I'm gonna beat my opponent, which overcomes the nerves sometimes, because I'm always thinking about what he's gonna do to me. Am I gonna get knocked out? Am I gonna be on the canvas? We both know nobody wants titanium on the canvas, you know what I'm saying? So I do my best to just not think about what my opponent is doing or thinking about as well, because I think about me, my performance, and that always overcomes nerves sometimes. You know, man, you got your coach motivating me as well, and just thinking about the support I'm going to be getting from people, my fans, my supporters. So that always overcomes fears and nerves, and you know, hitting the pads to warm me up helps out as well. So that's how I deal with it. And I try not to think too much about the fight itself, because that is where I feel like people always tend to think, are you feeling, you nervous, you doing this? But take it day by day. Take it day by day. The man himself. Ah, Dutch is a big man. He's a very big man. He's a very important man, important figure to me. He's taken me on a very short notice to my nationals actually, and from there I think he's grown to be a father figure to me. He's done a lot for me in such a short space of time. He's risked a lot of stuff for me as well, financially, time-wise, travel, and he's done a lot more for me than an ordinary coach would do. He's taking risks for me. He's a big man, and I love him for that. And I do believe that our relationship has grown a lot because it's grown a lot because he's taking big risks, and those risks can't be disclosed. And for that reason, my love for him, my relationship for him has grown immensely. A relationship between a coach and a boxer is very, very important. And I believe that also develops the boxer inside and outside of boxing. And with me, Dutch being on my side and being the man that he is, makes me a better boxer because I don't just want to perform for myself. I want to perform for him. I want to make sure that his training is being shown to the world, and he really does develop as a coach every session that we have. He does a lot more. He spends more time with me, and we talk outside of boxing. We go out outside of boxing because you have to build that relationship between a boxer and a coach to make yourself feel more confident in what you're training each other. Because some people they don't have a coach that has a father figure for them, and for me, I'm lucky to have that with him. Piece of advice I'll give someone starting out in boxing. There's pros and cons to both, regardless. And my opinion would be: number one, it's not an easy sport. You've got to be ready to grind it out. You've got to be ready to go out and give it 110%, because there's days where you're not 100% feeling like you want to do anything, and there's days where you're ready to go and pump, ready to go. And the amount of backlash you're going to get from people that don't support you, that is one. But the people that will support you is quite less, and it's hard work, it's focus. You need a lot of self-discipline and a lot of self-motivation to do this kind of sport. It's not for the faint-hearted, and there are days where you'd want to give up, but that days is the most important part, because your body wants to not do anything. But I feel like that's where mental part comes in, and that's what defeats all objectives. So be ready to focus, be ready to be dedicated, give it 110% in every training session, because tomorrow is never the same. Currently training at 2 gyms at the moment, Chatham and Kent Gloves Boxing Gym. That gym's amazing actually. I literally just started going there, and they're very supportive, very kind, very warm-hearted people, not very judgmental at all. I do all my spare days off when I'm not training. Well, there's a few things actually. Number one is COD. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a gamer, so I play a lot of COD, watch a lot of movies, I do a lot of DIYs in the house, things that need doing, toilets, plumbing, whatever. Sleep as well, that's a big one. I like to sleep, because I don't like people rushing me to do, especially when I'm not working or training. I'm in bed after the day, and yeah, man, I go out when the boys need to go out. Well, not all the time. I'm not really an outgoing person like that, but when I need to go out, I do go out. I see some of my friends as well, and yeah, man, I've got a social life, not just training every day, because that can be very, it can be very draining. So when you're not training, just find a hobby. If you do a hobby, you play games, read books, go to the library, whatever. So apart from that, man, I'm just chilling. Go out with the boys, just play games, read books.